Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Nubia series here on the Lord Master channel, which we could see that the situation of the Nile has changed drastically, and we're not talking about the current river depth, which is high, and it's going to remain high, says the cautious forecast. But what I'm more concerned is the fact that that there's this ongoing war down there to the south. My liege, the king, King Danis of the Courtiers, decided to declare a holy war for the Hadenna of Astaboras, which is currently controlled by the Kingdom of Blemia, which are these Mandulists, kind of people which they still believe in the old ways that we threw out many centuries ago. Like, they were kept in its de jure borders, but now they're expanding into Nubian territory. Now we don't want that. And they're attempting to spread the faith to there. Not to mention a large Christian monastery was built there long ago. Most powerful vassal. This is who we're up against. The keeper of ancestral fates, with this man who rules the kingdom. Born of a noble lineage with an untamed steps, this character's ambitions forged in a crucible tradition. His shielded tribes are unyielding resolve, preserving the heritage of their forebears, bigot stability in ever-shifting sands. He's also a craftsman supported by skilled craftsmen, artisans, and smiths whose exceptional talents enrich the tribe's culture and economy. Supporting this character, they hope for patronage, protection, and promotion of their crafts. Whether it be masterful metalwork, intricate wood carvings, or exquisite textiles, the craftsmen offer an array of valuable goods and workmanship that not only enriches the tribe's wealth, but also elevates its cultural standing among neighboring communities. That explains his forward level going up. That's why it's going to be hard to take. How it has the opposition from the free folks. This character faces opposition from the free folks. A coalition of neutral tribes seeking to avoid power struggles. The free folks oppose this character's leadership, fearing that they might lead to entanglements and threaten their independence and peaceful coexistence. They believe that this character's ambitions might jeopardize their network of allies and access to resources they have across their diverse territories. So his marshal be lowered, so ill-suited for leading armies himself. But he's a disciplined fighter. Hailing from an honorable and warring lineage, this noble warlord leads nobility and courage. Inspiring their wars of flags and rousing speeches, their disciplined forces fight with coordinated formations, displaying a prowess of a well-trained and unified army on the battlefield. A testament to their upbringing in a culture where warfare is both an art and a way of life. I guess they do come from that lineage after all. These are warrior kings, or maliks in this case, since there isn't really a term in their native tongue. But it's something to be concerned about, because the strength does not match theirs. The king is not alone, in which the Abakisa Davyom of Kaga the only lone Coptic entity that is independent that resides in Oasis. We're surprised I have not bothered to take this yet. So she leads on the battlefront. Constructing a spiritual alcove in 3 years. Content to convert friends and lovers. This includes a space where fledgling practitioners of the mystical arts begin their journey, learning the basics of esoteric knowledge. It's an esoteric center, is what they're building there. Built a Kanat, Christian monastery. Almost little remains of this. Well, the Coptics are still around, and Egypt plans on taking it. This line is still persistently Coptic. And remember, one day I will get that county for myself when I have that domain limit increased. The divided attach, which will take 3 years' time. And honestly, I want to support my king for him to take his territory, because the amount that she is leading isn't enough to dislodge it. Perhaps we may have an answer for them, but first. Even though our military isn't great. You'll be the master of raids. And we have someone who is excellent at that. Just to have the income while at war. I don't think you have much in the way of vassals, to be real honest. You only have one city, but so will we be paying the if I had more vassals rather than Republican vassals, then we can go for that. Shakanda, my son, who he's been traveling with me for long. He's not only content, but he's also arrogant. Which again, I'm raising him to someone who knows all about stewardship. I'd like to bestow a royal favor. Increase social prestige of the dynasty, because we need to get that renown up. Holding management, which we've never done this before, because you have to have 4 or more domains. Have all the counties of popular opinion of 0. Yeah, at least one of these skills. So it still reminds you it's time to plan your directives for personal holding in the coming years. Ideally, you should align the priorities of your holdings with those of the realm as a whole. Although, if you want realm directives, you have to be independent, and as well as royal decrees. So basically, suitable if you are an independent kingdom. And independent. Ideally, independent. So, positive or negative modifier based on skill. Chance of success increases with your skill level, and available options depends on your skills. Your counselors are eager to understand your plans for your personal domain, emphasizing the importance of alignment with the overarching strategies for the realm. What specific priorities should you focus on first? Ensuring coherence with the broader objectives set for the entire realm. Alternatively, do you believe in not assigning a particular priority at this juncture? Ooh. Because I'm Chase, I say study with the monks in the nearest monastery. 73% chance to gain studying with monks 5 years, 26% chance for mass defections. Damn! The moral demand suggests by the monks led to mass defections and to the least disciplined soldiers posing a greater problem than their discipline. So this lowers the levy size for the next 5 years. Now for the personal agenda. I need to know exactly if I can trust or not. Now, a conscious crisis. You're just not getting good luck today, have you? Everything is not what I would want. Five years they annually exchange a certain amount of gold for prestige, variety, renown, or dread. No need for that. Raise legitimacy if you want a legitimacy which is at full. That's good to know. Self-improvement needs you regency. And this is just to improve a skill. But honestly, I don't need all of that. Again, I would like to intervene on behalf of the king and friend. Cannot, because he's not defending my faith in this war. Oh, so he can't join offensive wars. Unless I'm allied to him, then maybe, but... And that's what I was planning on doing. Let's send reports. The success chance can be increased by spending additional gold, but they say possibly even a gift of gold from them. Improve opinion from your liege. Or just say no. Just looking. All the counties you could completely control of. Or correspond with them. What's the governor of Aswan like? Oh yeah, we've been good between each other. Strict patriarchy. Oh yeah, women's rights have been lowered under my law. Is it? Did they really change that? No, the strict patriarchy is actually over in Aswan. That explains it. It's not me, it's them. Let's be honest, money's going elsewhere. And I don't have plans to go to war next year, so I thought insufficient to pose a credible threat to them, and too distant from the realm. Well, what about them? Garrisons a chaotic state. Well, we do want more gold, so yes, let's raid them. Just because, you know, we have good relations with the Egyptians doesn't mean we can still do raids every once in a while. Pirates concluded that Abdullah is deeply trolled by internal and external enemies, facing multiple threats simultaneously. So, that's what we want, money. My master of raids, Santos, approaches me with bold proposition. He suggests launching a swift mounted raid deep into the lands of Emir Abu Abdallah. The primary goal is plunder. He believes we can extract significant wealth by targeting vulnerable settlements and supply lines. He's already identified 3 capable minds for the task: Bartholomeus, Zarabeka, and Zabas. Yes, I know who they all are. I know what they're like. Especially her, who's been my longtime bodyguard. Assemble a potential raiding party. The raiding party requires a leader, someone to command the knights and make tactical decisions along the chivalry. My master of raids present 3 candidates, each a proven warrior in their own right. Bartholomeus grips his weapon with quiet confidence. Zarabeka stands resolute behind her shield, and Sabas hefts his axe with a fierce glint in his eye. Who shall have trusted leading this dangerous venture? Honestly, it will be him who seems most capable of the task. I say that because of martial skill. I mean, she's a good warrior herself, but she's not good in martial matters. So I trust him more. He seems most capable for the task. The raiding party is assembled. At its head stands Bartholomeus, chosen to lead the chivalry. Which I'll figure out how to pronounce that word correctly next time. Flanked by Zarabeka and Sabas, they await my final command. Horses snort patiently, leather creaks in the earth, drums of anticipation. My master of raids, Constantos, gives a sharp nod, indicating all is prepared. The success of this venture now rests on their skills, courage, or perhaps a measure of luck. Let the fires be lit, ride forth! So they'll depart for approximately 1 year. The success depends on their combined skills, boldness, and the competence of my master of raids. Participants will be unavailable and absent for an ongoing raid for 1 year. Exactly. So, don't do any warfare-related activities within the next year. So, 70% chance circumstances suggest a reasonable chance of success. 29% chance the odds seems challenging and failure is a possibility. Go get 'em, people. Even though I could do raids myself, but the problem with raiding into enemy territories, except maybe for towns, which does take some time, but it's like you need to get them when like in faraway territories where we can raid, or even in places that are less than defendable. I know that, man. Like, wasn't he the mercenary captain? Or am I thinking of something else? Nevertheless. Because my marshals are off to do other things, so. And don't forget, I plan on going on a pilgrimage to the monastery of St. Catherine. So we're saving some money for that. Over flooded, not high flood. That's what I fear for this coming war. If they don't take us to Boras, which does have a low fort level, thankfully. It's just after Abab, then they'll go to Napata, and then towards Dongola, which no one can take Dongola. Absolute purities for the best. No fancy dreams, I'll spare my gold for this is gonna be the one with damn it, it's my guest. He's trying to kill me. 25% chance to escape unscathed, 25% chance wounded, 50% chance severely injured, 20% brutally mauled, 50% chance I get killed. Wounded. Ended up near death. Brutally mauled. Ah. Might die today. And my sons. The lands will be split between them. There was so much more for me to accomplish. All I could say is I hope you're ready for your role. You've learned a couple of things of me, and you've traveled well. Oh, I'm about to die. Died from being ill. Been apprehended and awaits the fate locked in my dungeons. That's it for the attempted murder. Which you might as well murder me. I'll kill you. Normally we burn the stake reserved for witches, but since you are possessed in attempted murder, you're gonna be beheaded. Bastards. 33% chance I'll die, 33% chance I'll become scarred, 22% chance that I'll become maimed, which there won't be no health penalty, but you certainly lose a body part of it. 11% chance you'll lose brutally mauled. If I die, then oh well. No, became scarred. Yeah. Had a near-death experience. I live. Oh. Watch out for possessed and lunatic people. Okay? Takes 2 years to get there. But anyway, we still have to make preparations for the travel to St. Catherine's Monastery. The Monastery of St. Catherine is one of the most revered Christian sites in the Sinai Peninsula, associated with not only St. Catherine, but also the biblical Moses as well, as that's a popular place of pilgrimage. You gain piety, lose stress, become pilgrim, and other positive character modifiers by being inspired by various aspects of the monastery or its history. It'll be an act of devotion, just to double check the experience once you pick up the pilgrim trait. I pick you because you have a high, yeah, high. So we're taking this path. Yeah, excellent, exactly what I envisioned. Just stay on this side of the Nile. Well, actually, after you leave St. Catherine, actually take a bit of a detour. Yes, a detour to places like Petra and Tabuk. And there as well. Did that after we cross the Red Sea a bit. Go to the mining settlement. And then to the other mining settlement. And then we're back home. Give me a forter and a mountaineer. Although the Sinai is extremely dangerous, as they say. Gain experience in your lifestyle. Development. Rather have some more renown. I'm willing to put a commemorative monument rather than just try to get some additional piety out of this. Don't need the development progress for the capital. Pilgrimage is for all. Ready? To the Sinai. The fame of St. Catherine's Monastery has spread around the world for multiple reasons. For it is not only the oldest Christian monastery still in operation and fascinating sights, from the Well of Moses and the Burning Bush to the relics of St. Catherine. Little wonder that it has remained a popular place of pilgrimage to this day. I too aim to be one of those pilgrims who seek to be spiritually inspired by the spiritual glory. I'll brave the harsh and rugged deserts of the Sinai and reach this great monastery one way or another. My journey begins today, and what a journey it will be. 3 months travel. We're going to gain some stewardship and learning lifestyle experience during all this. As we walk through Sabaguda, we're caught up in a crowd of people waiting for a large cart full of building materials to move out of the way. I don't need your stuff. I already got it cheaper elsewhere or somewhere else. One man shot another. The other one looks crestfallen, confused. What am I supposed to do with all these then? The responsibility gave more to themselves than anyone else. I'll buy all your materials. Might be useful someday. Traversing the floodplains on the outskirts of Sabagur, we were suddenly attacked by a swarm of bandit riders, out for blood. We were close to the holding. Surely Mayor Patricos sent out. As time drags on, as we were chased by the scoundrels for the longest avoiding battle, it's become painfully clear that no help is coming. How could a ruler let malicious riders like these inhabit his borders? My knight half-ass rides up next to me, a solemn look in his eyes. We both know the tactic we preached in the past. Damn, he was one of the good ones. You know what to do. Slain in battle. Road to the temple of Lie. We pass through this landmark and another landmark, such as the Luxor Church. Great monuments lie across Egypt, and Luxor Temple stood for centuries, the finest example of ancient Egypt's legacy of brilliant engineering. Luxor is the testament to the power of the pharaohs that once possessed, but there are no more. Parts of the temple have been converted into churches. Additionally, devout Christians settle among the temple ruins, building houses, shops, barracks, and more. And over there, Karnak, the most magnificent of the ancient pharaohs' temples. Karnak stands after millennia as a testament to the power and wealth of the kings of the Nile. Hey, traveling. Red and white monasteries. Two ancient Coptic monasteries near the banks of the Nile. Their walls built from stones of striking blue, granting them their names. One deep and earthen red, the other pale and luminous. Isolated but not forgotten. And with their chapels echoing with old chants, their walls adorned with fading frescoes, they preserve a learned and devout Christian tradition dating from before the Muslim rulers crossed the deserts and the rocks of Sinai to conquer these lands. While passing through the villages of Valley, I spent some time talking to locals. One thing that stands out to me is their intense loyalty to their liege. One villager talks with such passion that they would think they're describing a lover rather than their ruler. I'll make my subjects equally loyal. Antiquity is home to a famous way shrine that I happen to be passing by today. Locals tell us that it is uncommon for travelers to spend even a few days praying there, for it is said that doing so will ensure safe passage for one's journey. I'm unsure how helpful praying this would be, but I should at least pay my respects to God while here. Say a quick prayer and then move on. Is that the Nilometer? A narrow stone chamber built along the muddy riverbank to better measure the rise and fall of the Nile help plant crops. It was commissioned by the new Islamic rulers to continue an ancient custom of the land, binding flood and fortune to the order of the state. Yes, visit the capital of Egypt here. And now the dangerous Sinai. Dusty, weary, but later was spoils in tales of fire and fury. Someone's party returns. Without mails reports that the raid into Emir Abu Abdallah's lands were a resounding success. Villages were sacked, defenders scattered, and a clear message was sent. The bounty they bring back, gold, renown, and fear speaks for itself. Our enemies will not soon forget this. Most profitable venture. Our neighbor's views is this of significant disapproval. 47 gold, 35 prestige, and 15 dread. Well done, you three. Here we are, St. Catherine's Monastery. An unassuming monastery in the middle of a desert, but with a heavy history. The first monastic structure was, in fact, ordered to be built by Emperor Constantine's mother on the site of the liberation of the burning bush to Moses. Emperor Justinian financed his expansion to the well and into the current fortified monastery, also enclosing the Well of Moses. Only centuries after its foundation did the spoils of St. Catherine arrive at the monastery, changing its name. The monastery has always been among the most ancient and prolific scriptoria and icon-making centers. Although the building is inactive as it's not of Christian faith of its current ruler there. Epidemic management. Good. You done let them take territory, King. My trek across the Sinai towards St. Cat's Monastery reminded me of the episode from the book of Exodus when the Israelites, led by Moses, wandered the Sinai for 40 years, subsisting on only quail and manna that God provided them. By comparison, whatever hardships I faced during my recent travels seemed trivial. Still, I am happy to have arrived at the monastery at long last. Just thinking about it, I know while I'm here, there's much to do, much to see, and much time spent in prayer. But first, let us find somewhere to rest for the night. Who's this? Marius. A young slave is being offered to your court to be purchased by you as an act of piety or convenience. Perhaps you should accept this child's service as a symbol of compassion. Shrewd-minded. You're a court slave, but you have a callous attitude. You wish to prefer learning. Sure. Noble bastard. Chance of a good new congenial traits, maybe. But here's the thing. I'll let you stick around, and I'm gonna have you educated by someone who knows all about learning. One second. After all, sent it to be warded by her. Yes, screw it, let me raise you. Because if he wants to have a learning education when he turns 16, I'm not. Because if I don't see any use for the skills, I'm going to send him to the monastery. Or to take the vows is what I mean. A new day dawns, and I find myself waking up at St. Catherine's Monastery. How great it feels to be at this ancient sacred site. Like thousands of other devoted Christian pilgrims over the centuries, there are many interesting things to see and experience at this holy place. For first, I plan to spend many days of prayer and worship of God and spiritual reflection. Perhaps after, I can spend time exploring and better understanding many facets of this monastery. I leave bed and prepare for my first full day here. I have spent much time now at St. Catherine's Monastery, praying and worshipping God. While spending time at the monastery, there is one thing that has drawn my attention in particular, which has greatly inspired me more than anything else. The Astronaut of Muhammad. The Astronaut of Muhammad, or the Covenant of Muhammad, is the charter codifying the protections and privileges granted to the Christian monks of St. Catherine's Monastery by the Muslim prophet Muhammad. The original document is still held at the monastery for safekeeping to this day. Truly, this is an old place, steeped in spirituality and history, and this history is one that predates even that of the monastery. This place is truly profound in many ways. Again, inspired by the astronomy over 10 years, so negated the plus penalty +2, piety of slightly Muslim opinion +10. Make it easier for, those back deals that we can make. So as a reminder, the Astronomy of Muhammad, also known as the Covenant or Testament of Muhammad, is a charter granting protection and other privileges to the Christian monks in the St. Francis Monastery in the Sinai. The original version of the document was supposedly seized by the Ottomans for safekeeping when they conquered Egypt, though a copy was made to the monks of St. Francis Monastery as compensation, and the Ottomans nonetheless upheld the charter's provisions. Alas, my time here at the monastery has come to an end, and I must return to my normal life as Duke. Still, I had quite the inspiring, thought-provoking, and spiritual experience here at the monastery. Who knew that one single remote location out in the middle of the desert could have so much religious history and lore? It is good that I could travel here while I'm still healthy and able, and I'll reflect on all I have seen and done as I make my way home. Perhaps one day I might even return. You're a pilgrim now. You found your inspiration. But now let's have another travel for 7 months. Do a bit of exploring in the deserts. Like this, we go to Petra. Visit the Petra. The city of Petra is truly a wonder to the ancient world. Carved directly out of naturally occurring rose-tinted rock, the city stands as a curiosity and intrigues the mightiest sultan. Meanwhile, as we wander along the outskirts of Negev, I see a trail of caravan camels in the distance, and we soon meet with their stranger. Greetings to you, worthy friend. Come in, come in. I promise what I have in my soul. Like Jerusalem herself, and more what they sing, he says, showcasing countless of shiny trinkets before my eyes. He would say Al-Quds rather than Jerusalem, to be honest. Your income's good enough, so I'll pay whatever you wish. We'll get all that money back by the time we return home. Oh dear. Under attack now. Now we have a preservative box. A tightly sealed box that seems to extend the window of edibility of foods placed inside. This is a defensive war. The Darfuris want this. She's got a few allies. Oh, one ally in particular. This one. Palace in the mountains. This is who they are. Though often vilified as brutal, egomaniacal horse-riding tyrants by their enemies, the rulers of Darfur, no matter their origin, have learned to master the art of constructing mighty palaces, defensive works, agriculture terraces, and thriving cities in this mountainous region over the centuries. This Torah culture speak the third language, Central Sahelian. I do believe in martial admiration. Those who are willing to take up the sword and fight for their culture is worthy of admiration, no matter the odds. And what is their religion? The Mulism. The first-speaking feels believe that the supreme god Mulu lives in the sky and that the righteous will join him in the afterlife, while the wicked are condemned into the fiery pits of Ulu. Ritual cannibalism, unknown faith. Oh dear. And they hold 2 holy sites. Rage speed, Stewardship level devotion. Darfurian religion. Yeah, we may have to intervene and help them out. Because once they take the objective, which is rather easy to take as it's 4 levels 4. But mind you, Saharan province. This province is subject to the full wrath of the mighty Sahara, or one of its moving mountain ranges. Only a fool or an expert would attempt to traverse it. So if you're the landless adventurer, your provision use would be huge. The amount of food and water you take. And there's been some tension between faith and the cultures living in that area. And this is part of Makuria that can't be afforded to lose. So armies would have to cross the rugged Sahara before moving up there. I have to help you out with this defensive war. My liege, the called arms forcibly drafted manpower from your holdings into the war. Simultaneously, essential goods, supplies have been reacquisitioned, placing a heavy burden on the populace. Expect a period of economic strain, hinder development, and decrease stability until the conclusion of war. Your stewardship can mitigate these consequences. You're stagnant by war, pressured by war, protesting against war. And here, stagnant by war. So development's been curtailed. And building construction costs takes a lot of time, but not to worry. Unfortunately, this is our best commander of the job, who is a desert expert. Journey across the sands of Almayama, the caravan of laden camels crosses our path. The caravan master notices our entourage and halts procession. Noble travelers, he calls us through goodness eye. Perhaps you fancy a glance at the treasures these sturdy beasts carry. For the right price, the wonders of the depths could accompany you in your travels. Show me something unique, a true treasure. Oh, yeah. Dula's battle axe. Great about this man. A battle axe of excellent craftsmanship. Its wrought iron heads etched to feature different Coptic motifs. Oh, good thing you had carved in Coptic motifs in mind. Then, mounted on a sturdy oak haft, it is expertly balanced and easy to swing as it's sharp. Now, my prowess isn't good, but with this axe, I'm more capable of defending myself now. Yeah, I spent all that money, and I will soon be ready to defend. And he's called on the Order of St. Anthony. Move up. We don't know what kind of enemies we're dealing with out there. Wadi room. This great and ancient valley has been a source of myths and legends, still today shrouded in mysticism. From it, a massive wall of red rock rises against the wind. It's against the winds of the desert, tall and heavy and strong beyond the reach of any army. Right, safe. Prepared in the worst of times. My bodyguards keep dying out. Is that Rebecca? Back to active duty. A monumental tomb carved deep in the monolithic rock. a remnant of a once wealthy and powerful pagan city. It rises from the desert all alone. Sultry and dashing winds prompted the locals, naming it the Lonely Castle. Joining the famous, fortune brought us direct to the wastelands, of which we're not prepared to undertake this long stretch without a single source of water. Many of my companions have begun to look as awful as dried carrots. I need to do something fast. Alright, Knight down his drinks like a horse. No more. And he just dies from thirst. Now we make very little income during times like these. Your army is starving, and you wish to engage them? You crazy? We just crossed through the Red Sea with no issues. The echoing horns fills the ears we traverse the mountains near Crusader. The hill forts from resonant sound of hollow arms that sounded through generations. Mere seconds after the first blowing, a throng of garrisoned Bedouin warriors emerged from a close fortification, charged a group of terrified highwaymen and bandits. We wait, and then we pick the bodies clean. 50% chance that either the garrison will win or the bandits win, but we'll be gaining gold regardless. Garrison wins, we gain 20. Emerald mining settlement to reach. As the silhouette of Jabal Khazan looms ahead, the rugged outlines of hill forts command the landscape. A brutish-looking group of warriors approach their leader and courses them all. My lord, he nods, we are men from Wali Aras garrison. For a small fee, you could protect you on your journey. What say you? You look strong. How about you join me? Good. Someone who's a military engineer. Shit. Mariana's gone. She'll be in our prayers. Can't read what's going on over there. Just lost my spouse and my physician. You'll do. You wear a lot of hats for this one. Yes, I'm still allied with Shamir. Beware of personality traits. And no lowborns. Some old skills start from there. Hard to find a noble woman who's got good skills. That's what I'm looking for. Someone who isn't lowborn. But the traits, however, It's just I fear of a spouse who's, you know, controlling. If you can't find a one, I think you might settle with someone who's got claims. Inheritable claims. One-eyed, melancholic. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. How can a heart endure this kind of pain without breaking? It cannot be possible. Yet here I am. My heart's beating on whilst yours has gone quiet. Oh, Mariana, my beloved, life will not be the same without you. At least the memories remain. She fell from the mountain trail. That's what happened here. The night is thick with the scent of sweat and stale wine. I meandered through the local town at night. To what end, I'm not yet sure. As I make my way down a narrow, well-trodden street, a voice calls out. It sounds inviting, yet won't practice. A woman steps forward, cloaked in the dim torchlight. Her gaze is steady. Her smile neither cold nor desperate, but the look on with a tired woman who's seen countless travelers and carries no illusions. There's one problem. She's blind. I can offer you warmth for the evening, my lord, for a price, if you're feeling the weight of wrong, she murmurs. Perhaps she's something that we don't. Just follow her to the inn. She leads me down a few streets to a humble room above the nearby tavern. She lights a well-used candle by the bedside and looks at me with a smile that, upon closer inspection, hides a certain weariness. Mind you, she's blind! She attempts to appear joyous and excited, but it's so obvious and can act that you both know she isn't fooling you. She sighs in resignation. Alright, Lord, let me just get myself ready. With well-practiced hands, she begins to disrobe herself before you. She doesn't even know what I look like. But she's only 45 and she's a known fornicator. Which I guess it's not her first time she's laid with someone before. But as Chase on, I said, I actually have somewhere I need to be. Alliance expired. You know, I could have, we can arrange a patrol. But not right now. We're in the middle of a war. Alright. Our liege's army is winning. Defeat the barbarians. Please resupply yourself. Remember, you're not taking the objective, but occupying can make some progress. And with them being hostile armies, we can, you know, help them out on this. Well, we want to help in their defense, which it appears that it's small. But don't be fooled. Stay right here. Be stationed over here. I'll have to postpone this as we can't afford it. Won't be long now when I become the the architect, and then after that switch to learning. Because I would like to get some of these, especially having this virtue of being a scholar. Okay, they're a little more bigger than we thought. Thank God. Form a coalition. For what reason? Mutual alliance. Okay, that's what I wanted. Bloodstained cloth, crow feathers, strange smelling concoctions. This is evidence presented to me by a group of villagers from Ze. It's proof that, has been practicing witchcraft in her hut on the outskirts of the village. The villagers claim her evil works must be the cause of their sick animals and are calling for her execution. Stage an elaborate excuse for it, but in reality sneak it back to my court. Might be useful to me. Let him come. We'll attack him. Although the forces are rather massive than we anticipated. Oh, how could you? How could you abandon the siege? They're resupplying, mind you. Yeah, this is the only best. Lack of cohesive strength. Well, that's on you. We don't have money to buy mercenaries. And I know for a fact that some of them hired mercenaries. They do not appear to have done so. They got Sundanese Highlanders. Don't underestimate them. Okay, they're going on the offensive against them. Nope, they're coming to us. Hold your ground, man. We have some defensive advantage here. Some. And the reinforcement route is rather slow. We shall see. Gotta hold them off until reinforcements arrive. Fighting in floodplains. They're throwing a few at us now. Now they're committed. Advantage is theirs. One of our bodyguards got killed. Now we're losing it. They still have the advantage over us. Now we do. But it would be too little too late as enemy reinforcements arrive. But friendly reinforcements will be here in a few days, so we may turn the tide just yet. Now they have a better commander. We're a bit outnumbered, we still have the advantage. Now they have the advantage, so it's even numbers now. The Grand Master is here. Captured an enemy trade route. Forces have captured and control a vital enemy trade route, granting you access to valuable resources while potentially disrupting the enemy's economy. Well, that's good. Saved our skins out here. Zarabaka's been killing them. They just threw a lot of these Sudanese Highlanders at us. That's what happened. Two noblemen were killed in action. Maybe we captured their spouse. That we did. Yeah, captured her husband. And also the husband of... Well, what do you know? We captured both of your husbands. During the Battle of Napata. 2 of ours, 2 of theirs. That hurt. That hurt. But we stood our ground. And we got a few knights, especially a few good ones, ready to join you. Take them off, man. One thing's for certain. Once when our army's fully recovered from our losses, which isn't much to begin with, now we're fully reinforced. Ready to fight again. But wait until the knights get here. To merge with the army, and then we'll go on the offensive against them. Don't be too overconfident with that. With my leave, Mukashtaka and his witness parade to my chamber. Then look up poses like an herald proclaims, my liege, you must witness a monumental occasion. Mukashtaka is a mighty gift offers Nazareth. Go ahead, Mukashtaka. Tell him. Father, I lost a tooth. My son proudly presents his toothless smile, handing me a pouch of his fallen tooth side. Lovely, but keep your tooth as a good luck charm. As long as we keep them away from their main objective, Mercury wins the war and they get the reparations. But they cannot win a war against Plamia, as our Nubian culture has entered the early medieval era. Africa's sacred rulership. Oh, you can make primogeniture. State-sanctioned treasure hunting. But our mind is still on the barracks and such. Ally destroyed. Yep, now they're full on the offensive. Whereas we cannot take these guys on. Right, merging with us. On the move. Let's cross the desert. For level 3. My ward area has been very impressive, one of the household knights for a very long time. After finally meeting in person, he's repeating the warrior's words to himself. Give others their due and you'll receive your own in return. He must be taught that hard work always produces results. It's better to be that way. Promise you. He's going after Kogos. For level 3. Impregnated her. They might as well just chase him out of there. We're gonna take this sign for ourselves. Because there's a bit of loot in there. Be willing to have some and possibly take a few prisoners, maybe. Actually, that area is a fort level 1. Craftsman opposition. Take that instead. They're the ones that started this. Another council meeting, another conflict. Navigable, Abdullah, and the spy master Dosi are arguing violently about my next charity project. As Duke, I could silence them with a single word, but I have a better idea. My diplomatic pursuits have given me insight on how to handle situations like these to please everyone. Find a compromise that makes everyone happy. Got the hooks on them. Whatever I may need. Yeah, they could try to get the long way around. Months. Ornate ribbon destroyed. The force captured an enemy's battle standard, a symbol of strength and morale. This victory demoralizes the enemy but also boosts the morale of your troops. Renown up. Now I'm an architect. Buildings will be a lot cheaper and takes less time. Depending on the other factors, of course. Scholarship focus. Learning below. Yeah, I'd like to be a scholar as well. Be there in 25 days. Now I gotta attempt to take this place. It's currently occupied by Blemia. Six months for a fort level 1. 42 loot. I could use some loot. More learning now than ever before. Yes, Adena. Yes, Adena. Oh, crud. Sickly. At least we got an excellent steward now. At least I'll get to have all the credit in taking their capital and get all the loot for myself and more. %. I step out of my tent, siege camp sprawls out before me. A heaving sea of temporary structures and cargo, wooden siege towers and catapults. Flags flutter above the throngs, smoke drifts on the wind. Throngs of men busy themselves among their tents and siege weaponry. The stench of dirt and sweat is thick in the drear air, stinging my eyes. The smells mix up with a strong tang of urine and rancid odor of rotting wounds. My Lord Retainer approaches and forms the siege's ending. I gather my bodyguards and head to the edge of camp. The dim-legged neck, I don't know how to pronounce that, of El Fascia stands before me. A smoldering wasteland, a bleak abyss arrayed in the smoke of red ruin. Between here and there, bodies laid helter-skelter. Bodies littered the streets, some lying face down in pools of blood, others splayed in every manner, limbs bent in grotesque angles. Grieving widows and orphaned children flee the ravaged village, crying out. Lemon looked in the direction. Burn it all down. They attacked Mercuria, and they deserve hell for this. Imprison everyone you see. Willing to stand down for this army, because we won this one, and there's no reason to defend there, because it's already a lost cause. In 12 months' time, in a year's time, we're going to fight for the war to take this. Yes, pay the amount to me. Because we may never know that we might need mercenaries. Just in the realm espionage over there. I could hear in the castle echoing around. Light giggles occasionally breaking out full peals of laughter. As I enter the room, the culprits are revealed. Shakanda, with and judging by the discarded books from the cross table, his studies very much abandoned. As his half-sister Neshtana clutches his arms, that baby rolls heavily as Shakanda peeks through his fingers at her, two of them giggling happily. Hey, she's sickly. You may never know you're not going to have a sister anymore. So he's content, arrogant, but stubborn. He's there in eventually though. Shakanda! Remember to do your studies. just turned 16 now. I'm proud to see my son, no longer as a child but as an adult, a natural administrator from birth. It should surprise no one that Shakanda has come far in his studies in the management of the realm. Not content did he understand the flow of wealth and people, seems capable of predicting it as if by instinct. He always finds new ways of profiting, though. Duchess Mary's contributions towards education cannot go unmentioned. Her lessons have given Shakanda valuable knowledge for his future life. And grow up fast. He's an exalted administrator, just like your grandfather. For he was a great man himself. And he has a turtle-like demeanor. This character's demeanor is wise and steadfast, exuding a calm and patient presence within the court. They possess a deep sense of introspection and are known for their thoughtful and deliberate actions. Their court interactions are marked by a composed and measured nature. So he's obviously great with stewardship, but poor and average on everything else. It's too bad some of you aren't as blessed with intelligence as it may seem. Allied to the King of Mercuria, prevent factionalism. And Awa. Okay, that's sizable down here. But a little bit further away from there. Because one day we're going to fight a war against them and we're going to take this land. I don't want to petition to the king, even though if I could. But I want to know how much money she has in case I need to hire mercenaries for times like these. Low flood, hey. I'm reminded. Welcome these now pastoralists in. It costs less, so we could get additional men over here. Well, since you have very high learning, I think you might as well get this. We're going to do the center of port spheres. The border between Egypt and Nubia often lies far from the centers of power, so it's crucial that the leadership and their capitals are aware of the goings on in region so they can determine effective geopolitical policies. Alright. As the Lord of the Mountain, who maintains the border between Egypt and Nubia within our kingdom, I have to periodically send reports to my superior, King Dennis. That way he's up to date with the latest goings on in these lands. I am currently working on one such report right now, but I can't spend too much time on it. I have other responsibilities to attend to. On the other hand, I should take time on this report to be able to portray myself and my subordinates as the positive dividends without coming off too strong or making it seem we're hiding our mistakes. Okay, I don't have to put more money into this. Okay, write a normal report. No need for extravagance, so 95% chance of success, 5% chance of failure. Minor success. Liege appreciates the report. Again, 25 legitimacy. Trade experience. Could have done the other way, but as I said, don't want to put money on it. Even it will all be in vain because it's all going towards discord, which is largely because of wars being declared, now farms being plundered, and pastoralists have been warning off. There's only been 2 Bact exchanges, and never, anything like that. You're always there for me, and I hope you know that I'm grateful. as approaches me with a rare display of courage and openness. What I expect you to be doing for me too. I can update for us cathedral's list of bishops. This magnificent cathedral at Pakars, where Christianity first came to Nubia, commemorates its bishops over the centuries through a list of their names and portraits carved into the cathedral walls. We should update this list so the faithful can continue revered as they should. Makes you sound good, and it helps the development, growth, and control, which Lord knows it needs some development. That's been curtailed recently. Serene waters, probably safe. It's rare enough for me to have some time alone in film, but it does happen, relatively alone. That is, my minders are within earshot, but far enough away to give me a little space as I ride through my lands. For a time I stop beside a lagoon, a secluded spot. I don't think I've ridden it through here before. It's peaceful. The waters clearly run deep, although slight swirls and eddies on the surface suggest they drain towards something larger nearby. Perhaps I'll happen back here soon. Nice spot this. Surely worth a revisit. You know the waters along the Nile can be a little... Yeah. Just became ill. Wonder if that was a result of that. Normal. $228 gold. It has weakened these days, but they still have enough gold to hire mercenaries when need be. So, be cautious. Any more you want to ransom? If you care? If not, mind if I take some of them that may potentially be warriors like him? Because I'm willing to recruit a few. Craven. Listen, we lost some good fighting men these days, but we need a few more. Aye, you'll do. In which we've stated there's been a shortage of knights here, and these also Rands are not good fighters, so I'm willing to get them off of it. Cheapest mercenary band you can find is these guys, but they're so damn expensive just due to laws. Not because of wonderful wetness for my children. A caretaker to be appreciated. Not less lately my wife, Yobda, is rather special. My husband. How can your interest in our children has flourished since we hired that wench? Might have been her bountifulness inspires you. Just haggling me over nothing, right? Preposterous, my dear. You know I'm faithful. You know, those laws apply to her, so I don't think she can maybe be able to hire mercenaries. I think you're good. But the question is, are you ready for war? Because you see, when we raise armies like this one, we do have our man, who is well versed in such things. He's become a legendary blade master himself. Although some can't be commanders due to numerous reasons. Like it has to be a marshal or one of your knights and such, including those of our culture. So that's good to know. 4 months left. Stop. It hasn't been a year since that war's ended. Especially that one. Again, I'd rather fight for it. Alodia has been liberating their old territories. It's good. I'll raise you myself. Oh, apparently you can designate an heir. That's good to know that the option is there now. Following death sentence, Loyalty of Aswan ward, that's what he thought. He claimed he learned a lesson by not reaching one more than can handle. Overreaching can be terribly dangerous. That's a virtue. For temperance. I'll take it. Especially that I want for learning. Okay. My liege has lost the war against Blemia. They're very hard to dislodge. Unless they're in a period of civil war. And now they're dealing with a peasant uprising. Right, raise troops again. 21 days. Stop. Span. Now, you can petition to the king if you wish to. Because the easiest thing in the world is for you to... Actually, you can't do anything right now. Fine by me. We'll fight for it. I had the domain limit, that will be enough. This fort will not be easy to take. It'll take a few years, but it'll be worth it. They're smaller in size. We do have a few good fighting men, including our great man here. Health's doing poor these days for her. She has lived long. But I need you to fight one more war for me. And there's great loot over there for us. Let's do it. Or do you want to wait a year to launch it? Well, they are ready for us. And yet, compared to those bastards over there, you can raid them, okay. They're largely prepared. Hey, I don't suppose, because again, we've negotiated marriage between me and her. Matrilineal marriage now. Belongs to a different house which they're all raised Coptics. Mm-hmm. Is married to a Catholic Lombard. Some guy. Actually, that's not some guy. I know that house. They come from Salerno. Son. They're all sons. Hey, this may sound like it'll be in vain, but we have this alliance between me and my sickly daughter, so I can call you in over here, as you are rather useful there. There we go. Shakanda has no spouse. Right, I get you. But honestly, you shouldn't worry about being a spouse or whatnot. But I could see you being a, what can we be good for? Seneschal, obviously. Job pays well. It's a salary. You could be aptitude of other court positions, which is their other way of saying, everybody step up your damn game. Do what you do best. Although it does make you a bit stressed. But given that you're content, stress will also be rather easy for you. Alright, ready? Because don't want to do the raid because they know that they're expecting something like that. Whereas these guys know that some are just too dang far away to even have them dealt with. You kidding? Its significant target forces are overwhelming. Right. Costs less to do that. We'll get the county and might become an adventurer when this is over for annexing all the territories. You may have someone on your side, but I'll be bringing a friend of mine from up there. It's easier that way. These are the vassals' reinforcements, and these are hers. Off the start. Takes 21 days to assemble. And remember, calling allies in offensive wars costs you plenty of money. It'll be easier to call her in because she's nearby. Only 1,000 strong. War preparations. Veteran mercenaries. Your marshal stands at attention, hand resting on the palm of their sword. My lord, war is upon us, and our regular forces may not suffice. I recommend hiring veteran mercenaries to bolster our vanguard and to train our levy troops before they face real combat. It would cost prestige and to associate your banner with hired swords, but their experience would be invaluable. I could arrange for battle-hardened warriors who would greatly increase our chances of swift victory. Woo! Alright. Since we have good income these days, I'll say seek out these veterans. Victory shall be worth the price. As I struggle to make out the tiny letters on the scroll before me, I'll feel a headache building once again. Why do scribes insist on writing such small symbols? Squint and try again. Nothing short of a miracle. With the aid of stone or glass, even old men struggling with bad eyesight could read with ease. Abdullah, I require assistance. Thank you for joining me. Yes, the Duke is coming, but I don't fear him. Have begun, a gravely deceased soul stands at the threshold of the court, seeking an aid to face a debilitating ailment. I implore you to extend your benevolent hand. Bubonic plague! Don't bring that to the court! Seriously ill. Lowers your skills on everything. Seriously ill, bubonic plague. Only costs you tiny bit of prestige. Get out of there! If it was any other disease, I would take care of it, but bubonic plague is a serious thing. Get the hell out of here! On our way. I don't suppose you cop dicks know how to use siege weaponry, do you? That they're currently exposed to it. It's good to know. Yep, she just died. The guest I kicked out. We're gonna catch you up there. Yeah, we're gonna catch you up here at the feature out here. This is even ground. While the enemy forces are much smaller, so you shouldn't fear them. As long as we can destroy their army. And then we'll begin to siege up there. No! They're gonna get away. You idiot! You were about to engage him. You're letting them get away further and further, which I think it's better to scare them off this way. Forget it. Stop chasing them. If they want their land back, they're gonna have to fight for it. Out of desperation. "21 months. We can do that. That'll keep them away from there. Another son of mine. Think. Tapara. Again, still continuing on with the idea of naming them with Nubian sounding names rather than Christian or Greek sounding names, because I'm cynical. If I was normal or zealous, I would go for those type of names. Secured supply lines. Through effective logistical planning and protection, success secured your supply lines, ensuring a steady flow of resources and provisions to support your troops on the field. If we had any siege weapons, that'd be great. I don't know what you're doing on your side of the Nile, but one thing's for certain. You are blocking the enemy from converging together, which is good. But if you want to cross, you have to go through here. Actually, no, there is a bridge here. The cataract. Yeah. Just like I like it. Okay, they're coming in to assist us on the siege, or you go in place. Plans fail and toil bleeds us dry. Our guides and engineers have failed us at Kalabsha. Siege lines are drawn in wrong places, tunnels collapse before reaching the walls, and towers bogged down in impassable ground. Time and strength still believes our plans unraveled. The army's lost 10% of strength. We'll pay for this defiance. I wonder why they're coming in to assist us. Thank you. Stay here. We only got a year to take this place. Although I fear the enemy may have a chance to actually form up together and try to fight us off. Otherwise we'll be in deep trouble. Their advantage is low, so I don't fear them. What are they up to? Seven more months. From all my evenings watching stars, I've seen with my own eyes of what I've only heard before. The stars move at different speeds and reverse their course at different times, at seeming large groups, depending on which celestial sphere they belong to. Indeed, with the right calculations, one could even predict their movement. My episcopus does not approve. Leave the skies be. The celestial realm is for the clergy to know. Well, I'm saying what I say. I will find my answers in the heavens. Our learning our star experience, as I understand much about the movements of the skies. Plus 1 stewardship and learning, and some prestige gain. 6 more months. So that's what they're doing. They're going down, they're going up this way to swing around, meet up with the rest, which we chased them off out of there. The hustle and bustle is palpable among the traveling merchant stalls. Temporary shacks are stacked to the rafters, contain all manner of knickknacks. These pieces are positively radiant and would make for a lovely gift. As Yoda and I walk by one of the merchant's pendant jewelry, she hesitates slightly. She needs a closer look. Perhaps one of these would brighten the day for my imposing wife. A gift for my company is bright enough. We're about to get all this great loot from this soon. Powerful vassals I've gathered. Let's see if I can persuade this countess here. Countess of Napata. 63%. Okay, maybe. How about the other Duke? 79. Try it. Failed to persuade. Last. Ah, here we go. Power and prosperity. Building construction costs now it's minus 5% cheaper. And now monthly stewardship lifestyle exchange plus 10%. Next time, delegate authority, which would help us out a lot more as I gain more and more vassals, especially powerful vassals. And eventually this is the ultimate getter for me. Up the main limit means more taxes and more levies, and therefore I can afford larger armies. Which is something I'm looking to get, because I'm looking to expand my military for defense, and as well as to intervene in other people's wars. And if Nubia is ever attacked, especially in my territories, we have controlled territory defender advantage. What's the Sultan doing? Why are you gathering such a large army? Raided, that's why. They were raided by those Blemians again. That's why. And by the way, raids take a long time due to a combination of a high fort level, good garrison, and other factors. Hopefully that'll be their catastrophic mistake, should them be beaten in a raid. And maybe we can have another go, if Alodia wishes to retake this. I'll be more than happy to assist them. There can be no peace between us. Your land is mine. Your advantage is for what the hell? Do you have any idea who you're up against? I'm watching that battle over there. Oh, they're actually beating them. They're actually beating the Blemians. Beat those cultist bastards. You got him. That'll rethink of it. Assistance from counselors, so now the counselors have a higher opinion towards me. So nobody can criticize me of what I do ever again. Except maybe you. The land is mine, and here comes the money. I step out of my tent as siege camp sprawls out before me. A haphazard of cluster of canvas, wooden stakes, trampled muddy earth, flags snap and flail in that rain-drenched wind. Everything is covered in a thick sheen of grey damp like a mud-laden lake. A low retainer approaches as far as the siege is ended. I gather my bodyguards head to the edge of the camp. The barony of Kalabsha stands before me, a smoldering ruin. In the fields between, the dead lie heaped on massive piles and makeshift defenses to the onslaught of arrows. Bodies hang from low timber walls as they were put to dry. Apparently bodies of the peasants who dared to turn on their lords in the midst of the siege. Shocked survivors stumble through the rubble, seeking refuge, answered in muddy puddles. My men look me for direction. Spare this, because this land is about to be under my territorial control. I will not loot it further than what we've done here, and imprison everyone. Land is mine. Become vassal, gets county, but the county is mine. It's doubtful she'll become an adventurer at this point. Wait one day. We just destroyed the hill forts here. It's taking this siege. So this has significantly impacted by the siege. Local populations is facing substantial difficulties as a result of the siege. There are shortages of food and essential resources. Infrastructure may be damaged, leading to disruptions to daily life. The community struggles to cope with the aftermath, and economic activities are hampered. Yeah. Staggered by war, which will soon be rid of as war is at an end. There is harsh rule, and they have strained relations with the Niagara pastoralists. So that explains why you've been doing all this. Now, there's a sizable Coptic minority here, but at least the acceptance between us is 59%. So I can only wish her well. Because we can hope that the oasis stays around for a long time. The Kingdom of Bahrain is formed by these Comatians. Socotra is now controlled by the Muslims rather than Nestorians. Yeah, you got it. Now, send it control here and manage domain. It'll take about 18 months to get Kablasha under full control. 16 years. I mean, it's cheaper now. Take advantage of the cost, but the time will be reduced once the factors such as staggered by war and significant impact by siege and recently looted, all this goes away in 5 years' time. We will rebuild this, as this is the border forts next to Aswan, so it's pivotal for defensive reasons to get this rebuilt. Esoteric center. It's just like what she built. Piety turn to loss. Advantage against co-religionists. Can attempt to convert friends or lovers if you so wish. You don't have certain innovations to get these, which is something to think about in the far future. But congratulations, you got all the land that you wanted. Most of Nobadia except for Kota. You know, I would love to build temples, but you need lots of it. And plus, you gain a lot of renown when you complete these temples. It's all thanks to the religious patronage thing. Because this is something I would like to do in the future. All these empty spaces here, temples will be built there. And so there's been some realm law changes. Unrestricted sprawl. So it's a lot it's a lot cheaper to build buildings now. So this realm has no regulations on urban planning. Buildings are constructed haphazardly, with little thought to aesthetic cohesion or structure. Towns and cities grow organically, with streets and homes cramped together well regarded, forming a public space. What encourages rapid expansion leads to chaos and disorganization. I don't have the renown gained for like I used to know. Back to chain of command. Slavery regulations back to being restricted instead of banned, which makes for, at least construction will be built a little faster. Crown oversight again. Hired intermediaries. Used to be espionage network, but now we're going the other way around. A small portion of the royal budget is directed towards maintaining spies and informants. While the network's limited, allows the Crown to occasionally gather key intelligence without drawing too much attention or cost. The moral standard is still moral decency, just like the way I like it. What can I pay homage to the king with? I got nothing. Actually, help me with the control. And you can ask to fortify borders in case if we are in a crisis of whatever Egypt may be doing. But we do need to tell them to send bailiffs to restore control over my unruly county to save me cost and time. So we'll do just that. You. Get over here. I must go meet with the king. Just to jump ahead of time. Immersive of Horoscope has been prepared for a long play inspired in the classics of the old times. I received my invitation this morning, but to my surprise and disappointment, even if I were liege, it seems I will not attend the spectacle in places of honor. I could sense the criticism sorts in a failed signal of defiance by my vassals of this impotence. If I want to look good and reassert my true place in my realm, I need to take definite measures. Well, I do have the intrigue. I am not eccentric, I'm not sealed nor fickle. But I am humble, however. Oh dear. I actually use Creativity God. I don't want to lose the renown. I don't want to have negative renown in my conscience. Yep. Built to be suited to the rightful place. No longer a true ruler now, but that will go back up with time. As we pass through the market of Akasha, we hear a loud yell and stumble onto an ongoing tussle between the two men. Slightly observed by a group of people. The crowd cheers profusely as one of them is swept off by his feet, face planted somewhere in dirt, thus concluding the match. Who's next? The man yells at the crowd. Lands our group, and my Santa snorts in response to this challenge. You could do it, and you win the duel. Yes. Cliff! Oh, damn, not again with this. You. Strip down, you'll walk in front. I don't want mosquitoes to get on me again. Unless it appears that horseshoes and saddles in the current need of repairs. It's nothing new for anyone who's traveled along the roads. And travel by mount requires maintenance of such supplies. The villages of Kemna homes and craftsmen who can repair horseshoes and saddles for a reasonable price. Of course, they would try to save on money and not spend it on horseshoes and saddles till they actually break down. Bear with it. Bit of a cheapskate these days. I'm escorted into his throne room, where he beckons me to approach him and address him. I carefully describe the pros that my victim faces, resisting my authority and beset by vagabonds, and request assistance in restoring order. After listening to speech, he smiles warmly and states, "Absolutely, friend. So dispatch my agents immediately and take care of this map." Taking an H, so he spends 50 gold. All held counties are less than 6 controlled, so Controlo change by 10. We'll have royal bailiffs. Popular opinion goes down a bit, but control growth up much faster. And as I travel back, there'll be less dangerous travel, and we both gain renown. Increase control in county will progress faster in counties with that modifier. Now it'll take about a year. Oh, sacred Sastos, you've got to. He's the best man for the job. And revoke harsh rule. Developments in decline. Oink oink. Ah yes, this thing. As I travel along the road, I notice a fair-looking peasant standing alongside the paths. I inspect him more closely. He appears to be holding a small bundle. "Please, hold a moment. Times have been tough since my spouse has passed, and I'm not moved in. If you'd like to be interested in buying my child, it would pains me deeply. I cannot afford to keep her, and must sell to save what is left of my family." Her name is Theophania. Sickly, but wheezing. Oh, I can't. Gotta ignore her. Child's got no future. Time to move on. Bait him. Unfortunately, with the Nubia being over flooded, what I was gonna do is also, to reinforce our Darwin decision, that thing is ups to 4 level in holding taxes. It's best to do that if your realm is in direct danger. Like somebody wants to take a territory, choose that option, and that'll up your fort level, and so that's going to increase the holding taxes a bit. But economy-wise, and you want the development to go up, but there are other means to get development up. Our taxes are fine. Have fears. This helps with the control growth a bit faster. Pigs, development, more development. Breed cattle, development and control growth. Okay, just this once. Breed the cattle here. Since ancient times, cattle have been the most esteemed livestock among the Nubians. Any duke that knows their people's prosperity depends on having adequate number of cattle to graze along the fertile lands near the Nile River. Powerful Coptic churches and well-to-do nobles first keep track of their wealth through their cattle herds. There are certain breeds of cattle who have been reliably bred here in our lands along the Nile for centuries. Supporting the continued breeding will ensure their longevity, so that our people can continue to benefit from the same traditional types of cattle as our ancestors did. What do we do without our cattle? Well, we're trying to stem it. But significant impact by the stage has also been a factor. And helps to control growth even more. From what little we can. And we can end this episode right here. So in this next episode is we've reached our apex of how much we can have in our domain limit. The only way you can get up there again is go through personal touch, but instead I'm going this way, which if you travel a bit more, you're going to pick this up. And maybe perhaps with this. I still have a future. So your focus now is a here and now and build structures, even if some of which has left a lot to be desired. And maybe eventually, when I get a whole lot of wealth, I'll be more than happy to spend more on temples. Which, of course, depends on the situation of the Nile flood. Because construction cost goes up. But that's applied to buildings, not holdings. That's different. As well as itching ever closer to the period of discord for the back situation. Because a continuous nording off Nile pastoralists. And hardly anybody's doing any box exchange. It seems I'm the only one who's doing that. Which is highly irregular. But nevertheless, we'll see you in the next episode. But until then, so long for now.